Hey guys, Scott Adams here again. So, back kind of to our holiday theme. The holidays are coming fast. Thanksgiving's around the corner. So is Christmas. So people are buying things and getting ready to buy things. And, soon, especially that Thanksgiving to Christmas time, there's generally a lot of increased sales. We all know that. And as I said on the write up to this, how many times have you woken up if you're a merchant and took a look at your stats or throughout the day looked at your statistics and all of a sudden you see a huge sales spike? And I think every merchant is guilty of this, seeing that spike and assuming it's a good thing. It is, right? You just had more money come in, you didn't really expect it, possibly, or maybe you kind of did because it's the holidays, but can you attribute it back to something? This is what I'm always challenging merchants to do. So a good example that this can be good or bad is actually two examples. I guess when I was at Riot Games, we had two examples. One was I remember walking into our offices, and one of the guys that was on my team said, "Hey, look, we had this one guy. He ordered thousands of dollars of points, of Riot points, and it looked like fraud. So it was in our queue for manual review, and it really looked like fraud. It was one guy. It was out of the Middle East. It was, way more than he generally orders. I'm not sure he ever had ordered that much. But what I told my rep is, hey, email this guy. Just see what happens. And yeah, fraudster might email you back, but just see what happens, see what you think. It's not that much money that, we couldn't take it if it turned out into a chargeback, but let's see what we get. So we get an email back, and it's some Saudi Arabian prince that knew we had a sale coming up, which we'd announced, and he wanted to make sure that he had enough Riot points to gift it to his staff and his entourage or whatever they're called, and so they could all play with him. So he was building up, like a few days in a row he planned to do this, basically kind of in a way getting around our gifting rules. But this was a good thing. Then flip side, I've seen this hundreds of times too, is that you see a big spike in sales and it's an issue. It's fraud or it's some kind of error. I remember seeing this once, really similar situation, but instead it was a big spike. And so I asked, okay, so what's this attributed to? What did we do that made this sales spike happen? It wasn't a new season. It wasn't a release of a champion. It wasn't some marketing. There was no reason for this spike. And when you went and dug in quite a bit deeper, we discovered it was fraud. And it was all through a specific PayPal account, at a group of PayPal accounts, at a group of IP addresses. And so, obviously that's fraud. So if you just kind of take it at surface, hey, we had a sales spike, awesome. Then, I always say, make sure to be able to see where this came from. Look for tons of different IP addresses, different areas, different regions, based on, of course, your statistics. Make sure it looks like normal sales. It just happens that it's more, because you will see an uptick during Christmas, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Those make some sense, but still look into them. Don't just assume it's good. And that's kind of our job as fraud people, right? We need to be a little bit pessimistic, take a peek, make sure that it's good, and ask the question, where did this come from? Why are we getting these sales? So that's today's tip for the holidays, and really for any time, but I think this does happen more during the holidays. So hope that helps. Thanks a lot.